All right, Bills Nation, here we go. This week's matchup between Buffalo and Kansas City is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing games of the season. Every time these two teams meet, it feels like the stakes are higher than ever, and this season is no different. The Bills have shown flashes of brilliance, and we've seen them dominate in some games. But when it comes to facing the Chiefs, there's always that sense of inevitability, that feeling that every matchup tells a story far beyond the scoreboard. Kansas City has been a powerhouse offensively, rolling through opponents with consistency that is frankly impressive. They've put up points in bunches, maintaining control of the clock and driving home the kind of efficiency that makes defenses everywhere sweat. Their offensive performance has been staggering lately, with multiple games exceeding 28 points, racking up first downs and yardage that not only pile up statistics but also demoralize opponents. They're top of the league in time of possession per drive and plays per drive, showing a rhythm that is hard to disrupt, and their turnover rate is among the lowest, which is the kind of discipline coaches dream about. It's clear that the Chiefs are back to being that juggernaut we've come to expect, especially as key players have returned to the field, adding depth, skill, and that critical spark of experience that drives consistency. What's even more compelling is the way Andy Reid has adapted this season. He's become aggressive in ways we haven't seen before, pushing the boundaries with daring play calls and occasionally challenging conventional wisdom with fourth-down decisions. It's a mindset shift that's paying off, keeping defenses guessing and opponents under pressure. Yet, as impressive as these stats are, Kansas City isn't invincible. They sit around 7th place in the AFC standings, barely clinging to playoff positioning if the season were to start tomorrow. The margin between dominance and vulnerability is thin, and every game against a team like Buffalo carries weight that can tip that balance. The Bills, on the other hand, have their own set of dynamics to navigate. The loss of Ed Oliver with a torn biceps is a massive blow to the defense. His presence on the field has been impactful in the few games he played, and the void left behind is one that the defensive unit must now manage without. Injuries have been a theme for Buffalo this season, but the team has found ways to adapt, leaning on a rushing attack led by James Cook that has been nothing short of spectacular. His historic performance against the Panthers, rushing over 200 yards on limited carries, showcased the balance and versatility that the Bills bring when they establish the ground game. It's that dual threat that makes Buffalo particularly dangerous, even when the passing game hasn't hit peak rhythm. Josh Allen, of course, remains a central figure, but even his efficiency has seen some fluctuations, particularly in games where pressure and blitzes disrupt timing and decision-making. Against Atlanta, the blitz forced Allen into moments of uncertainty, and it's clear that defensive schemes will continue to test him in every matchup. Balancing the run and pass, finding rhythm in the passing game, and keeping the offense unpredictable is a puzzle Buffalo needs to solve to maximize their chances against a team as talented as the Chiefs. Kansas City's defense isn't a monolith either. They've struggled at times against elite rushing attacks, and the addition of Mike Pennell aims to shore up gaps against dynamic runners like Cook. The chess match between offensive schemes and defensive adjustments is fascinating to watch unfold, as both sides have weapons that can exploit weaknesses if the playbook is executed correctly. And speaking of matchups, the contrast of styles between these teams adds an additional layer of intrigue. Kansas City thrives on a fast-paced, high-volume passing game that spreads the field and forces defenders to cover multiple threats simultaneously. Buffalo, conversely, leans into a more methodical, clock control approach that emphasizes the run, tempo, and efficient passing when opportunities arise. This yin-and-yang style confrontation, the speed and spread of Mahomes versus the structured, methodical approach of Allen and Cook, sets up a game where every possession, every drive, and every tactical decision carries amplified significance. The Chiefs have multiple weapons in the passing game, from Rice-Worthy and Kelsey to Hollywood Brown and Thornton, making defensive assignments particularly challenging. Isolating coverage mismatches and attacking vulnerabilities in Kansas City's secondary, particularly against players who have allowed substantial production through the air, will be essential for Buffalo's success. Meanwhile, the Bills' multi-tight end sets, motion schemes, and fullback involvement create unique looks that can exploit these defensive angles. Offensive line matchups are equally critical, with the Chiefs boasting depth and flexibility on the edge that allows them to protect Mahomes and manipulate the defensive front. Yet, even with that talent, disruption remains possible, and the Bills' ability to pressure Mahomes, alter his rhythm, and force adjustments could dictate the flow of the game. At the same time, Buffalo must manage their own offensive line performance, maintaining timing, pocket integrity, and protection schemes that give Allen the space and time to make decisive throws. In this context, it becomes clear that while statistics provide insight, the intangible elements, timing, strategy, execution, and in-game adjustments, often determine outcomes. The clash in Orchard Park isn't simply about yardage, points, or drives. It's about how each team imposes its will, adapts under pressure, and seizes momentum in the critical moments that define high-stakes football. Every third down, red zone opportunity, and crucial call matters exponentially more when the opponent is a championship-caliber squad like Kansas City. This isn't just a test of skill, but of composure, preparation, and the ability to capitalize on opportunities while minimizing mistakes. It's these nuances, these fine margins, that have historically separated victories from defeat in this matchup. Buffalo's keys to success hinge not only on execution, but on the ability to identify and exploit weaknesses, to adjust mid-game, and to sustain drives that keep Kansas City off balance. It's a multidimensional chess match where every piece, from quarterbacks to running backs to offensive linemen and receivers, plays a pivotal role. And while we've seen the Bills shine in moments, sustaining that performance against a team like the Chiefs requires consistent attention to detail, strategic creativity, and an unwavering focus on both situational football and the broader flow of the game. This game promises to be a compelling showcase of tactical acumen, individual talent, and team cohesion, with a contrast of styles, the interplay of matchups, and the execution of game plans will all collide on the field in Orchard Park. Every play, every adjustment, and every decision could swing momentum. And as fans, the anticipation is electric. The quarterback duel alone, Mahomes' dynamic arm versus Allen's blend of mobility and passing precision, sets up a narrative rich with suspense, where efficiency, timing, and strategic choices will be the difference between triumph and disappointment. As both teams bring their strengths, adapt to injuries, and test each other's defensive and offensive schemes, this matchup evolves into more than just a regular season game. It becomes a microcosm of football strategy at its highest level, a real-time examination of how elite teams prepare, adjust, and perform when the margins are razor-thin. In particular, the Bills' challenge lies in balancing their powerful rushing attack with passing efficiency, exploiting defensive weaknesses while maintaining discipline in high-pressure situations. Each drive, each decision, each execution counts, and the ability to convert opportunities in critical moments will likely define the winner in this clash of AFC Titans. Now, as we turn our attention to the finer details of this matchup, the keys to victory for both Buffalo and Kansas City begin to crystallize. For the Bills, one of the most critical aspects will be controlling situational football. These are the moments that separate good teams from great ones, the drives and downs that can swing momentum in an instant. Third downs, red zone opportunities, short yardage conversions. These are the plays where execution matters most. For Buffalo to succeed, they need to be sharp in these areas, making the right calls at the right time and ensuring that each possession maximizes its potential. Limiting Kansas City to field goals instead of touchdowns when inside the red zone, converting key third downs, and creating pressure on critical plays could shift the game in Buffalo's favor. But it requires meticulous attention to detail and an unwavering focus under pressure. Equally important is the challenge of disrupting Patrick Mahomes' rhythm. Mahomes has shown an uncanny ability to make plays under pressure, to extend drives, and to improvise when his first read is covered. Finding ways to force him out of his comfort zone, whether through pressure, disguised coverage, or blitz packages, will be essential. Even a slight disruption in Mahomes' timing can have cascading effects on the Chiefs' offense, forcing quick decisions, creating opportunities for turnovers and providing the Bills with a chance to seize momentum. On the flip side, Buffalo's rushing attack, led by James Cook, will play a pivotal role in both sustaining drives and keeping Kansas City's offense off the field. Cook's versatility, ability to exploit gaps, and effectiveness in both zone and gap schemes add a dimension that can keep defensive coordinators guessing. The Bills' use of multiple tight ends and a fullback in motion creates mismatches, giving Cook room to operate while also opening passing lanes for Josh Allen. Balancing the run and pass, establishing a rhythm, and maintaining possession are all crucial components of Buffalo's approach. Meanwhile, the Chiefs will test the Bills' secondary with a variety of weapons in the passing game. With receivers like Riceworthy, Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, and Thornton, the Chiefs can attack from multiple angles, making coverage assignments incredibly challenging. The Bills' defensive backs and linebackers must communicate flawlessly, anticipate routes, and minimize mistakes in coverage. Isolating matchups, particularly against defenders who have allowed higher production, could create opportunities for explosive plays. It's a tactical battle where anticipation, recognition, and disciplined execution become as important as raw athletic ability. On the offensive line front, both teams face critical matchups. The Chiefs' offensive tackles are seasoned and deep, giving Mahomes the protection needed to survey the field and make his throws. However, if Buffalo can generate pressure with creative alignments, stunts, and blitzes, they can force Mahomes into hurried decisions and disrupt the timing that has been so central to Kansas City's success. Conversely, the Bills must protect Allen, giving him the time to read the defense, make accurate throws, and manage the clock effectively. This interplay between offensive line performance and quarterback efficiency cannot be overstated. Every block, every shift, every adjustment contributes to the rhythm of the game and the likelihood of converting critical plays. Kansas City also relies on extending drives and maintaining possession through methodical execution. Their ability to run long, sustain drives with multiple first downs mirrors Buffalo's own approach with a strong rushing attack. The team that can control the tempo, sustain drives, and force the opponent into unfavorable situations will have a significant advantage. It's a battle of patience and precision as much as talent. Additionally, the way both teams handle pressure and blitz packages will be decisive. Buffalo must navigate creative pressures designed to confuse protections and force mistakes, while Kansas City must adjust to the Bills' aggressive rush and play-action schemes that can open opportunities for big gains. Reading, reacting, and adapting in real time are essential, and these moments will likely define the ebb and flow of the game. In terms of individual matchups, James Cook against the Chiefs' defensive front stands out as a critical confrontation. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Whispers are swirling around the NFL as the Buffalo Bills reportedly make a bold move that could reshape their backfield for the coming seasons. Sources close to the team suggest that the Bills have locked in Joe Mixon as the centerpiece of their ground attack, a decision that, if true, could send shockwaves through the league. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders hint that negotiations have been fast-tracked, signaling Buffalo's serious intent to dominate both the stat sheets and their divisional rivals. Mixon, known for his punishing runs and ability to break tackles, would bring a new level of physicality to the Bills' offense. Rumors indicate that the team envisions him not just as a traditional power back, but as a versatile weapon capable of stretching defenses in the passing game as well. Sources suggest that Mixon's skill set aligns perfectly with Buffalo's offensive scheme, giving quarterback Josh Allen another dynamic option to exploit offenses. The mere prospect of Mixon patrolling the line of scrimmage has pundits speculating about the team's potential to transform into a true juggernaut. Fans have already begun buzzing online, debating how Mixon's presence could impact the team's roster decisions. Could this mean a shift in draft priorities? Or perhaps a change in how the Bills approach their running game altogether? The speculation alone has created a storm of excitement, and a touch of anxiety throughout Western New York. MIXON's rumored arrival could not only energize the fan base, but also place immense pressure on Buffalo's rivals to respond in kind. While nothing is official, the chatter is impossible to ignore. Sources claim that contract talks have reached an advanced stage, and some insiders even hint that an announcement could come sooner rather than later. If the whispers are accurate, Joe Mixon's presence in Buffalo could signal the start of a new era, a time when the Bills' backfield truly becomes a force to be reckoned with. As the league watches closely, one thing is clear. The rumor mill is alive, and the prospect of MIXON leading Buffalo's rushing attack is enough to make any NFL fan sit up and take notice. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.